Come on. You'll make me lean down just 'cause. Alright. Morning. It's 10:02. And as you can tell, my schedule is record my last thing at midnight, lay around till sometimes as late as 3 or 4, and get up when the sun cracks through, and it comes over the hill at 9:45, so 9:30, 9:45. So we got up, took a clap, and busted out the solar panel and got that set up. So we got no real sun today. It's all clouds. It's all cloudy. But I'll tell you what, I know it's like just a little thing, but that fucking alley right there, if you can really get a good see of that, that bad boy hurts, man. I mean, it kind of affects my mood. I'd like to not be in that much pain. So, today we're gonna have to shave the old head. Kind of harfta. But today, let's see. I don't know what today is. I think it's Tuesday or Wednesday. I think we need to, whether it's today or not, we've got a half a day or so's worth of just kind of tidying up that we need to do. I got a lot of shit strewn about in the tent, and just like basically a big junk drawer kind of laid everywhere. So I want to get the tent cleaned up, tidied up. Once again, I'm not promising that's going to happen today, but I'm just saying that's something that we got to put on the list and get done. So we got to do that. And then, same thing outside, just a little bit of tidying up. From the sounds of it, we've got some visitors coming at the end of the week. Wayne and his wife are going to come out. Another crazy old mountain man. He's probably 60. Toothless guy. Super fucking cool dude, man. When you know what? That's from these. If you notice, the last week and a half, 2 weeks, I didn't wake up with my normal whooping cough. So that's from rolled cigarettes, man. That's from good smokes. I only smoked 8 or 10 of them yesterday, and I woke up with a gnarly cough. So, for Advil every morning, cough without warning, how much more can I take? Between the booze and the grass and the tits in the ass. But I read 130 pages of that book yesterday. Which, okay, yeah, I sat around and read a book. That's what I basically accomplished yesterday. I've never read a book in my life. I will finish that book today. That is a huge accomplishment. For a guy that's never read a book, to calm down and slow down enough to sit down and read. Not only to sit down and read, but I truly appreciated the visuals that book gave me. It was like watching a movie. It was like watching TV, and I've never really read like that. I'm the type of person who reads and skips through. If what they're saying is boring, I'll skip through. And that was it's a great book, but the guy's too descriptive. I mean, I don't need to know that, the red house has paint peeling off of it. Now, I guess that's a good way to write, and being overly descriptive and very descriptive helps, but it kind of got a little cumbersome for me. It's a little too much. But, so, we're not going to say this for sure, and we're not going to swear on this ever, but I don't think we got a breakdown left in our future. I don't think we do. I think we broke down as much as we need to break down. Remarkably, oddly enough, that book, The Five People You Meet in Heaven, is about a guy who dies, and heaven for him and everybody in the world is meeting five people that in your life you've dramatically affected, and in ways that you couldn't even imagine. So really was kind of ironic, because there was a lot of stuff, I'm sure I'll get to the punchline, but there's a lot of stuff in there that, he talks about a father and how raising a child is like blowing glass, and you will always leave the glass blower will always leave the fingerprints behind, and sometimes they're beautiful and they add to the painting or to the piece of art, and sometimes they're nasty old oily fingerprints that ruin a piece. So it's really ironic that this entire book is about making peace with your life and about making peace with your past and realizing that you're more important than you thought you were. Is that not exactly what I'm realizing out here? Is that not what I'm going through? Is that not what lessons I've learned or learning or need to learn? So I came out here under the veil of I didn't know it was my life to live. I didn't know it was my heart to give. I came out here under the veil or the title of Broke, Homeless, and Hungry, and it's time to start finishing something. Well, Broke, Homeless, and Hungry had nothing to do with this. It's time to start finishing something had nothing to do with this. But I didn't know it was my life to live. It's kind of up those lines, but it's more along the lines of I didn't know I was a good person. I didn't know that I was human and made mistakes. And they talk in there about the guy that owned the carnival and how he built this big, pier and put this, carnival on it in the name of his wife and in the name of love, and the pier burnt down, and it was no fault of his. But as a result of that, it broke that man for the rest of his life, and he died unhappy and miserable and alone. And I can relate to that. And I think my father can relate to that. And I'd really like to investigate into my dad's life a little bit more, what my dad's carnival was. What it was in my dad that broke him. Because I know that I was broke before. I mean, I know that a lot of the things happened before the bar were a result of me feeling unworthy and things like that. And I know where those feelings came from for me. No blame game here whatsoever, but the things like being dropped off at the treatment center, or Dad going to a baseball game but never taking me to a practice, or Dad encouraging me to ride motocross and do this and that, but never going and watching. Dad wanted me to be able to fix anything and everything, but that was my dad's way of, validating his life and, reliving his life through me. And, those things left me with tools and left me with things that I would have never had if it wasn't for him pushing me into those things. But the value of him doing them with me, and the value of him being by my side, and the value of him, grinding it out with me and being there. Every son tries to impress his father, and every son always tries to impress his father and never stops, and sometimes in freakish amounts. I mean, that kid up on Dugan Falls, that kid and his dad that beat the hell out of that guy, the father wasn't sorry in court. The son was. The son was trying to impress his dad. The son did what his dad did and was trying to make his dad love him and make his dad like him. And every child will do that. So, obviously, my dad had a similar life. Obviously, my dad had a similar childhood. I think, Grandpa probably, not unlike my dad. I think he probably, did what he did. I know he was gone a lot. I know he worked on ships. I know he worked as a traveling Bible salesman, I even thought, or a book salesman, but I think he probably wasn't around that much, and my dad always tried to impress him, and it was impossible because Grandpa and my dad's dad was unavailable to him. So I think my dad grew up his whole life without that validation, without that little switch in his soul being flipped that says, "It's all right, old man," or "It's all right, son. You're good. You're good. You're pure. You're a good boy. You don't need to impress me. You already have. I'm impressed." And through the actions of validation, not just the words. So I think that's probably a lot to do with why my dad kind of came into the world as insecure as he did, and came into the world as high maintenance as he did, because once again, my dad's I'm a spitting image of my father, and everything I learned from him. So if that's the case, I think it's inevitable that those insecurities were passed down, and that security was not built up in us. But out here, I started that with talking about the fact that I don't see another breakdown in my future. Out here, I've put myself in a position where I have forced myself to be proud of myself, where I've forced myself to do things and accomplish things and try things and embrace things that I never really would have. And for now, they're not physical things. They're not, 80-foot triples. They're not, mowing the lawn at 9 years old. They're not, hitting a home run. They're not, making $1 million. Right now, they're just being a good person. And right now, they're just clearing my soul and feeling better about myself and feeling like I can do it and seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. And that's something that I've never done, and that's something that I've never had. So those big accomplishments, those 80-foot triples, those this, those that, those will come later. I know that in my heart and soul. But for now, and I'm not, you can think I am, but I'm not taking the lazy route. I'm not taking the do nothing route. I have learned over the years how to do nothing. I've taught myself how to do nothing. I've made peace with doing nothing, and once again, not a blame game, but seeing my dad unemployed for 9 years of my 18-year childhood, that inevitably somewhat taught me how to do nothing and how to be okay with hanging out in the chair and watching TV. And I've really mastered that art, and it's really not what I want to do anymore. There's more to it. So I know that out here, for me, my big lessons are being learned, and the way to really carry them out is to keep my solar panel plugged in, and to keep my juices flowing, and to keep my battery charging. That's what I'm doing out here. I'm charging my soul. I'm rejuvenating and energizing a part of me that hasn't been energized in a long time. And I'm building strength, and I'm building confidence, and I'm building self-esteem, and I'm building the feelings of being okay with yourself, and I'm building the feelings of missing other people, and I'm building the feelings of wanting success. I'm building the feelings of wanting to go back and get in the game. And I haven't wanted to, or thought I could, or thought I should in forever. So I apologize for not having a whole lot of exciting things to show you on the video. It's a lot of conversation, it's a lot of talking, but I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And when you know you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and you don't have to question and you don't have to doubt, it makes it a lot easier to just put your head down and grind it out. And that's part of what life is a grind. It's, making peace with yourself, making peace with your past. And usually that's the result of a grind. So my grind right now, in my heart and soul, folks, I believe that right now I came out here when I was about 6 years old. little baby boy, man, throwing fits, pouting, crying, screaming, yelling, angry, pounding my head against the wall. You know, it's been said when I was a kid, I pound my head against the wall when I throw a fit, or no, something like that. It's been said when I was a kid, I pound my head against the wall when I throw a fit. And I once done something about stuck the tweezers in the socket just to see what they did. And that's true, that's what I did. But I think I came out here and I was about 6 years old. And I think, you know, breakdown number 1, I made it to about 7. And I think breakdown number 2 and 3, I made it to about 9. I think what you saw the other night, I was about 13. And I was dealing with the anger and the disappointment and the frustration and the hurt from being dropped off at a treatment center at 13 years old and having my dad refuse to step foot in the building. And that left a wound inside of me, and that left a gash in my soul that I didn't know was there. Not only did I not know was there, I knew that that pissed me off, and I knew that that hurt me and affected my life. But I didn't think I felt as alone as I did because of that. I didn't think that I felt that abandonment. I didn't think that I felt that alone because I refused, because I love my father more than life itself, I refused to allow myself to point a finger. And I may have pointed a finger a little bit here and there, but I never sat around in my own time and screamed and yelled at my dad. I wouldn't have allowed myself to do it because he's a great man. So coming out here, stripping it all away, being in a position of where I was willing to do that, and where come to find out I had to do that. Not only come to find out I had to do that, but I needed to do that, and it's okay that I did that. You know, I've made a connection between my broken heart that I had and some activities. And once you make that connection and realize where things come from, it makes it a lot easier to deal with. I'm not mad, dude. If my dad rolled his head around the corner of the tent, I would light up like a fucking Christmas tree. I would tackle him. I'd roll around in the grass with him and, you know, sit down and go, hey, you hear what I said the other day? You okay with that? And he'd go, fuck yeah, I'm okay with that, brother. I knew it, you know. I mean, that's what I came back here for, you know, type of thing. So it's just good old faith and good old strength and charging those batteries. And my self-esteem batteries and my optimism batteries and my hope batteries and my energy batteries have been dead for a long time. And when I say, you know, it started from this event, or I felt this way, and my daddy did that, it's not me blaming my dad. That's me drawing a line. That's me being an intelligent person who needs to figure out the past and make sense out of things and figure out who and how he is and where that came from in order to move on and deal with that in my life. So that's not blame. That's not my dad fucked me up. That's, this happened, it affected me this way. I'm a man and I need to learn how to deal with it. And I don't think there's a person out there that would or should or could disagree with me. This is not about sitting in the woods going, fuck you, Dad, fuck you, Dad. This has nothing to do with that. This has everything to do with me realizing how those things affected me, and most important, realizing where those things come from, and that, once again, my dad did the best he could. And in his world and in his life and the things he taught me 10 times as many things as he learned, because he learned from his dad's mistakes. And he was insecure, and he was lonely, and he was sad, and he was, you know, not as strong as he could have been. And he didn't get those feelings from his father and from his life. So, or his mother, I don't know. Once again, I think I'd like to do some more investigating. So it's not a blame game. It's not a point your finger. It's not, oh, my dad did all this and fucked me up, and that's why I'm this way, and I'm going to stay that way. This has nothing to do with that. This has everything to do with, all right, you got to know where you come from in order to know where you're going. And now I know where I come from, and I've learned that it's okay for me to make that connection, and it's okay for me to realize that my dad played a big part in that, and I'm not mad at him. I'm not upset with him in any way, shape, or form. I mean, I may have yelled and screamed, but that was a breakthrough. That was not every day. That was not something that I carry with me from now on. I don't carry that at all, and I thank my dad every day for, being there for me in the ways that he did, because everything he taught me, good or bad, has resulted in me being who I am today. So I'm okay with that. And I know that my father is okay with that too. So now the struggle, if you will, is not as hard, and the journey now is just charge those batteries, Dave. Just keep on meeting people that make you feel good. Just keep on meeting people that make you believe in life, and start charging those batteries. And when you got the strength to start working a little bit and start grinding this out or chasing this dream or chasing this dream, you won't have to stumble and fall, because you'll be strong enough, because you've got your batteries charged. So I'm parenting myself. I'm relearning the things that I could have learned as a child. I didn't, and spilt milk. Okay, so be it. I'm realizing now that that's my job, that's my opportunity, that's my responsibility. So for me, dude, if I rolled over and went back to bed, which I'm not going to do, but it's cold as hell this morning. If I rolled over and went back to bed, I would not beat myself up a bit for it, because you know what that meant? That meant I was tired. It wouldn't mean that I'm a lazy fuck who didn't want to do anything today. And it wouldn't mean that I'm a loser, and it wouldn't mean that I'm out here in a beautiful place and I'm just sleeping it away. It wouldn't mean that stuff. It would mean that I'm tired and need a little more sleep. I'll make up for it on the other end. And the whole desire to write a book out here, or to even learn how to play the guitar. I mean, I'd love to, and I really honestly need to, because I enjoy it, and I think I could probably play pretty easily if I just sat down and practiced. But I really do think that for me, there's just certain ways that things are easy for me and certain ways that things are not. And I think the guitar is something that I need lessons. I need the interaction with somebody else. I need that push. I need that encouragement. I need that interaction. It's hard for me to sit down and do anything by myself, because I'm so used to doing things for other people and with other people. So, I think that when I get back, I'll make a priority out of learning how to play the guitar, and I wanted to do that out here, but the bulk of the reason why I couldn't do that is I couldn't use my laptop. So right now I don't even have a chord chart. I came out here with a full DVD set of how to play guitar, and I fully anticipated using it, and I did, and I can play shit from it right now. And I used it for the first week I was out here, until I realized that I was killing my batteries. I didn't have enough juice to keep it going. So it was better to have a camera. That was a good yawn. It was better to have a camera going and camera running than it was to it was better to have a camera running than it was to do anything else. So that was my priority, was documenting this process, in the hopes that in the future I can do something with it and put it in a form that is user friendly to everybody. And whether that's a streaming internet channel, or whether that's a movie or a book or a documentary, or a fucking world tour where I go around and talk to people about my experiences, and show them some bits and pieces of video or whatever, or just simply, for me, document the process. That was most important. So the guitar went by the wayside, and I don't feel bad about planning to learn how to play the guitar and not being able to. And I don't have excuses for doing it, and I don't have to justify it, and I don't have to, I don't have to do anything. I have to do what's right for me. And right now, what's right for me is rolling with the flow, and recharging those batteries and getting that hope back inside of me, and just going again. Because I came out here priority one to find out if I wanted to live. That don't mean at the end of the trip, if I didn't, I hang myself from a tree. That just meant I'm sick and tired of living the way I was. I need to come out here and find out if I'm okay with that. If that's all I got. If that's all the strength I got, I'd have come back, I'd have pulled up a shitty little fucking apartment and grinded out the rest of my life and died like a carnival worker. But I've learned out here that I do want to live. I've learned out here that there's a lot of things to live for. I've learned out here that I miss a lot of the things that I didn't know I missed. I realized that a lot of the things that are important to me are important enough to me to do the work. And to get up and be part of the solution, and to get in there and get my damn hands dirty and care about other people and push through and power through and do what's right for Dave. And doing what's right for Dave sometimes involves doing what's right for other people. I mean, I can't get out of my mind the thoughts of getting back and making some dollars and making a habit out of coming back up here and giving back to this damn mountain. Giving back to the people of this mountain. Finding the people up here that need it and finding a way to help them out. Finding a way to give back. Because this damned old mountain saved my ass. This damned old mountain taught me things that I never knew I needed to learn. And I never knew that they were out there. This mountain's taught me patience, forgiveness, understanding, passion, love, friendship, companionship, sharing, giving, hope, faith, strength. This mountain and old Mother Nature stepped in and taught me the things that my folks couldn't teach me. And that deserves a reward. That deserves a thank you. And if that's something that I can do in the future, I would love to do it. I think it would be the neatest thing in the world to have my family part of, coming up here and giving back and taking someone with me and showing them what it's like to give back. And I think that's deeply important. I don't know, maybe a Milepost 54, charitable fund. The people that find themselves in a position where they got to run to the hills like this and just hang on to dear life and just survive. I came out here to recharge my batteries, to go back to the real world and live. Everybody that I've met out here, most of the people that I've met out here are out here trying to survive. Are out here, doing what I'm doing too. But doing them. Oh man, I'm so cold. It's freezing today. Most of the people that are up here because they have to be up here. Because they got nowhere else to go. They got nobody left to help them. And everybody that I've talked to, no work. Everybody that I've talked to, society. Everybody that I've talked to, the government. Everybody that I've talked to is not up here running away from those things. The people that I've talked to are up here broke because of those things. Broken financially, broken emotionally, broken spiritually. And society in one way or another has got a hold of them and shook them hard enough to where they come out here and they don't have money and they don't have nice cars and they don't have clean clothes and they don't have teeth in their mouth, but they do come out here and they still have hope and they still have faith and they love this old mountain and they love being out here and they smile and they fish and they hike and they hunt and they do the work that it takes to survive out here. And I give anybody credit for doing that. So I can relate. So it'd be really nice to give some of that back and help them out. But battery's blinking. We're completely dead. Got the panel in the sun, so we'll go out and charge the battery and brush our teeth and do what we normally do. And I'm thinking today we might shave our head before it gets a little too hard to do. And we're just going to make the best of the day once again. We're just going to do what we can. So I think we'll get some grub in us. We'll probably do a little reading, maybe finish up that book, and then maybe this afternoon we'll head out of camp and do some hiking around. And even if it's just hiking up the road, you know, getting out of camp 2, 3, 4 miles a day, I'm good to go. I'm good with that. So I'll check in with y'all in a little bit, and I'm just going to let this camera run out because it always does. So once this stops blinking, I usually got about 30 seconds. So love you, miss you, goodbye, and the fact that I'm not freaking out or begging and pleading Michelle to come out here and see me and stuff, that proves to me that things are happening, because I'm man enough to where I don't need to beg. If she wants me, she wants me. If she wants to hang out with me, she can hang out with me. If she don't, so be it. Never felt that way before. I thought that if I liked or loved somebody, they had to love me back, and if they didn't, it would break my heart, and I had to try to trick them or convince them or change their mind. That's not what I need to do. I need to do what's right for good old Dave, and I haven't done that in a long damn time. So, life is good today. Thanks, Zach Brown. Got my toes in the water, my ass in the sand. Not a word in the world, a cold beer in my hand. Life is good today. So, but I will admit, I'm staring out there, I'm feeling the cold, it's cold as hell, and I'm like, I don't want to go out there. But I have to, and I will. So, I have to, and I will. But we're just still digging it, man. Just still making the best of it and learning our lessons and charging our batteries. So